Hi guys, welcome to my channel with another video. So as always, today I'm going to bring a new book which I read recently. This book, I think I have already talked about this in my latest mini book haul, which I did last time. And I have already completed 2 books in this series, and I'm still working on the rest of the 2. A bit packed these days, but altogether I'm progressing with the reading of the book. So without much delay, today let's move into today's book. So today the book is which I'm going to read is called Binding by Bridget Collins. So I mean this is an interesting book. Okay, so when I purchased this, I went through the synopsis and I found that the introduction is extremely interesting. It's a different kind of book. I'll come to that in later. So I bought it, and believe me, what I thought the book is going to be is totally different to what the book is. I mean, there are books like that which I'm getting, I would say, disappointed at them, but I would say this one I was pleasantly surprised. I really loved this book. So let's talk about the book itself. I think the author is Bridget Collins. You may already know. She has a couple of young adult books and couple of things which I have not read as of now, but I mean I'm more inclined to now read couple of books as well. And if you look at the size of the book, I think it goes around 438 pages, and it's a book which was published in 2019 in it's one of the Irish publishers. And if you are purchasing this at UK, you may be spending something like 8.99 UK pounds, and that's about it, nothing else. So I think there's not much thing about the book itself apart from a really nice cover which I really love, and the design is really good, but it's a paperback cover, so I mean the quality is pretty okay, no complaints here. So let's move to the story. Okay, so before we go into that, I want to tell about the context. So in this context, it's a bit of a different world than to ours. In, I would say, in a one way, the way that is it's all about book writing. Okay? So in this world, the books are not written as a novel or fiction. Okay, so they're not talking about non-fiction. So how they write books in here, they normally call it as binding. That's a name itself. So how they write the book itself is the writer listen to a person's memory or let's say a life story, and the writer itself is able to extract that memory and bind it to a book. So it's not a non-fiction, it's not a fiction, it's I would say it's a non-fiction in a way, but it's the real story. And I mean, not everyone can do this. I mean, there are specific people with specific skills how to do this. Okay, and those are called binders, which are kind of like a witch in a say, but altogether it's a nice concept. And in this world, writing fiction it's basically a taboo subject. So you don't normally write that, but there are a couple of binders who does that as well. But those are not recognized as real books. So in here, simply the story is there's a teen boy called Emmett Farmer, who's basically a farmer. It's his last name as well, but again he's a farmer, and he lives with his family. And suddenly he was taken as an apprentice for a binder, which I said earlier. Okay, which is basically a old age lady. So she's the person who binds the books, in a way reads into people's mind and extract them, and there are a couple of, I would say, elements in this system which I will not disclose. You can get to know it better. But the story is, I mean, this teen boy goes to an apprentice situation with that lady, and after some time he gets to know how to do the binding and all sort of things. But apart from that, he finds a book which has his name on it, which basically says someone else has already binded his memory, okay, and which he is not aware of. So the story starts from there, and it progresses into what is the story and what's the story behind that, and how he is trying to figure out what has happened to him. It was a really nice thrill. Okay. Now in this book there are two sections. I mean, based on two different perspectives. The first section, part 1, is based on the Emmett Farmer, his own perspective, and the second part is the part 2, where it is being narrated by a different character. I'm not going to say who, but there are multiple characters in this book, and I would say this is, I mean, when I see this initially, it was kind of a magical generic, I would say fantasy series, but altogether it's a whole different scenario. So at the end, it was really good in the sense it was really surprising me, and it's a different subject to Sri Lanka as well. I would say a very, I would say, uncommon topic. So it's good to know. So finally, let's move on to the my comments of the book. So obviously I liked the book quite a lot. So when I started the book, I thought that this is going to be a fantasy series, as I said, but it was not true. I mean, in a way, it kind of have some kind of a high fantasy, a bit where you build up the world itself, but it doesn't have much of fantasy. So apart from that, this is going to be a love story. So if you are a love story fan, definitely romantic fan, this is one for you. But again, it has a twist as well. Okay, so you won't be disappointed. And on the writing itself, it was written superbly. I mean, there are two characters which are basically narrating the story. That was really good. And at the same time, it's a easy read, quick read. So I don't see any problems reading the story as well. At the end, I was pretty much surprised with the ending. At the same time, the overall the book itself as well. So I think in my recommendation, I would rate this as 4 out of 5, which is a really good to read rating. So definitely buy this book and read it. You will not get disappointed. So that's about it. We'll soon come up with another video of a book. Until such time, see you later. Have a nice day.